True story, my mouth is gonna fall off. This is like the third video. Third, fourth, I don't remember. I don't even remember. But this is the last one. Okay. And this video is actually not a question. This is just me and you having a chit chat. First of all, thank you for tuning into MKJ TV. And it is I, Lady A, aka Avery, in the building on this lovely, I don't know, what is today? Korean time, English time, night. It's a lovely night. Doesn't even matter. So I really actually wanted to just, I don't want to say drop some knowledge, but drop some knowledge that I picked up along the way from my ladies. And it's from my fellows too, I guess. Women, we need to really and truly come to grips with the words that we speak. It is so important to understand as a woman, we have the power, we have the power to be king makers or prince breakers. When we come in contact with a man, it is a good chance that he is on his way to something. He is in the process of doing something. He's building a business. He's in university. He's whatever. He's got a plan. There's a good chance, not always, but there's a good chance that he has a plan. Now, that's him in prince mode. He's not at his kingship yet. He's in progress. He's being groomed to do that. And if he comes across you and you immediately start to tear him down with your words, tell him what he's not, disrespect him, make him feel less than because he hasn't reached his kingship yet, you immediately have broken that prince. And although you might be fine, and although he might smash you, in his mind though, you'll never be his queen, because a queen would never ever tear down her king. So I really want us as women to hone in on that. Like, decide. I was gonna say something else in my mind, but that's kind of mean. Like, decide to think about what you're gonna say before you say it out loud. And honestly, I'm pretty sure that you can talk to any of my boyfriends, ex-boyfriends, any of guys I was talking to, my male friends, even my male family members, the men that I'm around, even for a short period of time. Something out of my mouth appreciates and uplifts them. Because if we don't do it, who will? We are the compliment. Another guy's not going to do it. Another guy's not going to say, "Hey, bro, I really like how you did this, such and such and such and such. You're looking good there, boy." No guy's going to tell another guy that. So as a woman, I feel that it is part of our duty, and this could be my southern roots, you know, and if you don't agree, leave it in the comments, but this is just me. I'm just sharing from my heart, right? I feel like it is our duty to verbally build our men up. I'm not saying carry a man on your back. I'm not saying be his mother. I'm not saying, you know, only play up his ego. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is watch what you say, because your words have the power to build or to tear down. And that's universal. All people, we are spirit beings, and when we talk, we are able to move and change things around us. There's been scientific studies that have proven that music is the only thing that can enter a person's subconscious and cause memories, reactions, and actions without asking that person's permission. Why? Because music itself is placed words themselves are placed on top of music. So the music enters, but then the words do the work in your mind. So people can't unhear things. So prime example, if you are a woman and you're in a relationship and there's this guy and you guys are trying to figure out like who you guys, because let me back that up. First of all, who you are one-on-one is not the same as who you are in a relationship. Like when I'm Avery, I am Avery 24/7 all the way out. But Avery in a relationship, that's a different person, because now I have to consider this other person. I have to cover and take care of this other person, just like they're going to cover and take care of me. So, so if these two young people are trying to figure out how they acquiesce or how they coalesce together, right? How they become congruent. How congruent is that the word I want? Anyway, how they flow. If they're trying to figure out how they flow and how this works, and they're pushing through with their relationship, but every time the man does something the woman doesn't like, if she's like, "Oh, I knew I should have left you," well, but then in the other conversation, you're like, "You can trust me. You know, I'm here for you. We're in this together. This is team us, you and me against the world." But then he messes up again and it's right back out of your mouth. You know what? Maybe this is just not it. Maybe this is, you're constantly threatening to leave. Guess what? In his mind, he might not tell you that out loud, but in his mind, he's like, "Hold back, I'm not gonna trust you because what I need to trust you for? Because the minute I don't do something I do something that you don't like, you're gonna leave me. So why should I let my guard down? Why should I trust you? Why should I be vulnerable with you? Because obviously you're only being but so vulnerable with me because you're not putting that much into this. You don't have that much on the line. If at the drop of a dime you can roll out, you're willing to just pack your stuff up in peace." So that's just an example. But those words hurt. Like, if this man is trying to be a better man for you, and you're constantly telling him the man that he's not, and the type of man that you need, and the type of man that you're gonna go get if he doesn't go get it together, like, what? I'm not sure what you're expecting. Those words you're putting out are building. I'm not sure what building you think they're making, but if you're constantly negative and tearing down, and this building that's gonna come up is when you're gonna be in by yourself, because you don't have to worry about leaving him. He's gonna leave you. He's going to beat you to the punch. So, and that doesn't have to happen. I feel like a lot of times when women say things, they say them out of hurt, out of anger, or whatever, and they don't really mean it. But I think we have to consciously decide that the thing that I say out of my mouth, because I know you can't unhear it, I'm going to make sure that it's something that's of worth. I'm going to make sure that it's something that's of value. And even in our idle time, when we're not talking to our guy or our girl, like, if you start to condition your mind to really pay attention to the words that we speak, specifically us as women, we start to pay attention to that. Even in our idle time with our friends, it'll be like, "Oh, normally I would sit, chit chat, gossip, or whatever with you, but now I'm like, I'm gonna order a tea and I'm gonna go." Like, it affects every part of your life when you really watch what you say. On your job, you might be like, "Oh, I don't love this job that much. Oh, you trying to go there?" I mean, that might be your initial reaction from before, but when you start to watch your mouth and you start to watch what you say and watch the things that you're building with your words, you might be like, "Okay, if that's how you want to do it, then okay, I'll do that, no problem." Like, it will, I'm telling you, it will change your whole persona. And this is something I'm going through now. I've never tore down men, but I have used my words to light people up. So this is something I'm working on. I'm sharing this with you as I'm working through, but I just have noticed that, a lot of my guy friends have, come to me talking about their wives or talking about their girlfriends, and it's like, dang, she said what to you? Like, and I'm pretty sure these women in their mind didn't literally mean, "I'm gonna leave you." They didn't literally mean, you're just like your father, a waste of space, a waste of time. I'm sure they didn't mean those things, but in the heat of the moment, they said those things. And the thing is, I keep saying this, people cannot unhear what you say. So even though you're saying, "I'm sorry," you can't, once those words out, you can't like grab them back and put them back in your mouth and chew them up and throw them back down. You can't do that. Once they're out there, they're out there. And vice versa, men. Once you tell a woman, "I love you," once you tell a woman, "I think you're fly, I'm interested in you," once you tell a woman, "I'm in your corner, babe, I got you," when you go through all of this to make her fall in love with you, don't make a girl fall unless you're going to catch her. And you can stop all of that with the words. Don't be on the phone, "Hey, boo, blah, 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 blah." If you know good and well you just want her draws, you actually would do better off saying, "Hey, I'm just trying to hit it and quit it." Believe it or not, some women who just want that from you will say, "That's what's up." Other women be like, "Really? No." And guys, you don't want to waste your time with that anyway. You should go with the woman who wants to be a one-hitter quitter, thriller in Manila, because if you try and run this girl down who doesn't want that, when you run her down, when you get her, and when you leave, you're going to have a whole world of hurt on your hands. A woman scorned is not what you want on your hands. That's not. Trust me, that's not what you want. So yeah, let's just love each other better by thinking about the words that we say. Women, build your man up. Don't tear him down, even when you're upset. Pause for the cause and say, okay, I'm upset. Why am I upset? What about this situation made me mad? And was it all him, or was it my response to what he did? Because sometimes, I heard this example before. It's UPS's job to bring the package to your front door. However, when you sign off for it, if you go in the house and drop it, or if you drop it right in front of him, if you punt it down the street, it doesn't matter. That's on you, what you did with the package. He's just a deliverer. Your responsibility, once you receive it, it's your responsibility on what you do with it. And our words are the same way. If someone comes to us and says X, Y, and Z, maybe they really meant X, Y, and Z. But if we take X, Y, and Z, like us women do, if we take X, Y, and Z and paint a whole picture out of X, Y, and Z, and then we're expecting him to respond based on this picture, but you're the only one looking at the picture. Like, he's like, what are you talking about? Wait, what? I just said I wasn't coming to the movies. I didn't say I was with nobody else. I didn't say I was going with anybody else. I didn't say anything other than I wasn't going. And another thing that I found out about men, and I don't know if this is a secret or not. I might, have men knocking at my door like, you let the secret go. But as fly as men are, and you guys know I love older men. Me and older men, we gets down. Even an older man, it's not too much up there. Trust, it's not. In comparison to what we have going on, it's not too much up there. So when situations happen, when conversations happen, don't overthink it. Because 9 times out of 10, they aren't. Whatever they, like, it's prime example. If a guy says, this table, he's like, oh, countertop, like, table. This is what this is. We would say, oh, this marble and granite fixture. Oh, I love the little flickers of paint that they have in it. They didn't see all that. They see someone to put their sandwich on, or some place to put their sandwich on, and their Kool-Aid. That's what they see. Like, don't overthink it. And so with the man, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, if he's telling you something negative you don't really want to hear, take it, process it, then speak back. If it's something you do want to hear, don't run down the street with it. Just let that be that. Because for sure, men probably aren't overthinking it, and men are very direct. Usually they will tell you, hey, you're getting on my nerves, I don't like you, I'm about to be out of this relationship. They'll tell you that if that's how they feel. If they don't feel like that, don't say, oh, you must not want to be here, you must want to be with Kiki, blah 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 blah, or whatever. And you could even, tearing a man down doesn't always mean attitude. As I said, it could be something as simple as, and this is something I used to say, and one of my woo, I have to laugh at my old self. I used to say this all the time. I used to say, you're whack as a man. And I would never have an attitude with it. I would use it as like sentence clauses. Like, yeah, I can't believe you would do that. You're so whack as a man. Like, and I would keep going. And I didn't realize I was just dropping little word bombs everywhere. Like, one of my friends, he pulled me to the side and he was like, look, I'm telling you this because I love you, and I do not want you to say this to anyone else and they bust you in your mouth. And I was like, what? Who would bust me in my mouth? And he was like, when a man is trying to be a man and he doesn't do something well, or he does it well, just not as well as you would like, you can't just go around telling people they're whack as a man, because it means something to be a man. It means something to a man to be a man. So when you're saying he's whack as a man and he's failing as a man, like, you cut that man in his soul. And I was like, oh my God. I honestly was like, yo, Jay, are you serious right now? Are you joking? Like, you're being funny? Because I said it all the time. And he told me, he was like, yo, you're one of the few women I know who I can feel the worst about myself, and I come have one conversation with you and I feel like I could take over the world. Like, he was like, that's why I was in love with you all those years. And I was like, what? But right, this confession of love comes out in the story. But yeah, he was like, and I've seen you do it. You just are you a good woman. You're like one of those women who can just build a man all the way up. But that one sentence you say, Abe, cuts all that down. Like, it doesn't matter you just told me I was the king. It doesn't matter you just told me, good morning, black man, what awesome things you get. None of that matters, because when I didn't do, and he was one of my assistants, so, for my company. So when I would ask him to do something and it wasn't exactly how I wanted it done, and it wasn't exactly how we had discussed, I would say something to the tune of, well, I'm paying you to be a man. I'm trying to figure out how you are being whack as a man, and I'm paying you to be a man. I'm paying you to do X, Y, and Z. We talked about X, Y, and Z, and you stood in front of me and agreed that you understood what I was saying, and yet you did something opposite. Now, what shall we do with this situation that we have? I would say something to the tune of that, and he would know that I was totally upset, and he would say, you know what, I'm sorry, I thought I could take this shortcut and, you know, produce more. I was really doing this so that I could bring back more than what you assigned me with, or whatever. And I would just say, oh, that's so whack, whatever, I'll fix it, don't worry. And I would go fix it. But finally, I'm so glad he told me, like, hey, you can't keep saying you're whack as a man. Like, you're failing as a man. You can't keep saying that to men. So, women, if you say anything of that nature, stop. If you keep threatening him with leaving, stop. If you keep telling him he's not cutting it, he's not good enough, blah, 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 stop. If you have a man-child, if you have a son, do not let anything come out of your mouth other than, you can conquer the world, son. The world is waiting for you. Son, you can make an A and go to whatever university you want to. Son, you can travel the world. Son, you can do whatever you put your sweet little mind to. Unless you're saying anything in that, don't say anything at all. Because your words are so, so, so powerful. So women, this is from my heart to yours. Please, 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 pay attention to what you're saying to your men. Pay attention to what you're saying about your fathers. Pay attention to what you're saying about the men around you, because you cannot expect them to cover you. You cannot expect them to do their role and you're not playing yours. You just can't. And I have one friend, I'm saying this and I'm going to close out this conversation, but I have this one friend, man, she's gorgeous, like beautiful, and single. Not single by choice, but because every relationship she's ever been in, this right here, she uses her mouth to cut her own self out of the relationship. And then she wants to call me, I don't understand why he left, and blah, blah, blah. What did you say? What you mean with that? What did you say? What was the situation? What happened? And 9 times out of 10, she overreacted. She was in the wrong, and he probably would have forgiven her, but her mouth just kept going, and he was like, deuce, I forgive you. We ain't gotta be together though. I forgive you. Peace, love, and hair grease to you. So yeah, ladies, let's watch what we say. Let's build our men up, whether they're your man, whether they're your neighbor, whether it's your father or your uncle. Say something positive. Say something that makes them feel like a man, because it's a hard job being a man. It's just as hard as being a woman. So you want someone to tell you you're beautiful. You want someone to tell you you're doing great as a woman. You want somebody to tell you you're being a great example. Then do it for someone else. As I always say, if I'm covering you and you're covering me, then everybody's covered. I should totally put that on a t-shirt. Okay, so I hope all is well. I hope this message, not message like church message, a message like message. I hope this message has helped you in some way. I hope it has encouraged you and got you to really think and take ownership of the words that you say, because they do build. They have the power to build or destroy. So ladies, please be king makers, not prince breakers. Mwah! Talk to you guys soon. Bye!